Paul's reason for refusing the shame, look at the next part, for it is the power of God for salvation. The gospel is not just talk about power, it is power. It's not human persuasion, it's not psychological upliftment, it's not moral life coaching. When the gospel is proclaimed, God acts. His power moves into human hearts and topples idols, forgives sin, it creates new life. This would have been striking to the first readers of Romans because Rome glorified in the imperium, right? The legions and the law and the conquests. Power meant crushing your opponents and then building a monument. And Paul dares to say the true power, it's not found in Caesar's armies. It's found in a crucified man's message. The gospel advances not by the sword of Rome, but by the word of Christ. That's the first shock. But the second is this. Salvation is not a rescue from external enemies. It's a rescue from the deepest enemy, sin itself. You know, Rome could defeat Carthage, but not pride and greed or lust. It could punish crimes, but it couldn't clear guilty consciences. And the gospel claims to do what no empire or philosophy or therapeutic strategy or program could ever do: save sinners. And I want you to see the scope to everyone who believes. Salvation isn't limited by ethnicity or class or merit or by how much you've put yourself together. It's to everyone. It says there, to the Jew first, honoring God's covenant promises, but it doesn't stop there, but also to the Greek. The gospel is not tribal, it's global. Evangelical faith from the beginning has crossed boundaries because it's rooted in a God who gathers people from every tribe and tongue and nation. But here's the problem, right? Every culture wants salvation, but on its own terms. Let me tell you what I mean. In Paul's day, Greeks sought salvation through wisdom, Jews through the law, and Romans through power. In our day, we seek it through self-optimization or therapy or politics or technology. We crave deliverance from anxiety and guilt or mortality. But we resist the idea that we need God's power to save us. Paul insists that the gospel is not a dead letter. It is power, the very power of God unleashed in Christ. To be evangelical is to confess that the gospel is not a hobby or a cultural moment. It's life from the death. Let Rome boast in its legions. Let the West today boast in its progress. Both crumble because the gospel alone saves through this unlikely message of a crucified and risen Christ.